Good morning. It's the appointed time to call the February 28th, 2013 meeting of the Oklahoma City Airport Trust order. Our first item on our agenda is to approve the minutes of the January 24th, 2013 Airport City Trust meeting.
Move approval.
Motion to second. Any discussion? Please cast your votes. And it is so approved. Director's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everyone. I do have a few things I'd like to report this morning. First of all, I think many of you are aware that we have a vibrant military welcome center, which is sponsored by the Greater Oklahoma City YMCA at Will Rogers World Airport. And I got some numbers a couple of weeks ago that were kind of staggering to me. We have a huge military active duty presence, largely because of Fort Sill, that buses troops back and forth at least a couple of times a day to Will Rogers. But since that facility opened in June of 2007, they've had over 180,000 military visit that facility. And in January of this year, they set an all-time high of over 5,300 going through that welcome center. They average about 2,600 a month. So I just wanted to report that those guys have volunteers. The YMCA has volunteers. They do a great job. They provide them food. There's TVs. There's games for them to play while they're waiting for their flights. We have another facility in the airport where actually they can sleep on cots if they need to overnight. So we really go out to treat the military right. And I think it's a very nice facility and very well supported and obviously very active. With air service, I have two small reports. One, just remind everyone that Cleveland started, nonstop to Cleveland. Hopkins Airport started February 14th, and that's going very well. And Southwest Airlines decided to use Oklahoma City again. They've done this before, but until April 13th, they will have 5 flights a week nonstop to Orlando. So I want the public to be aware that there's now a nonstop, at least for a short period of time, to Orlando, Florida. The last thing I want to talk about is the impacts to the United States government with regard to sequestration. And sequestration, if you don't know, is across-the-board cuts to agencies and programs across the federal government spectrum. The Federal Aviation Administration is not exempt from those cuts. And last week, the Secretary of Transportation, Ray LaHood, mentioned some cuts that were going to be impacting airports across the country. Will Rogers World Airport is going to be affected by these cuts if they were to take place. Effective April the 1st, the night shift with the air traffic controllers in the control tower would not be in the control tower. Now, we don't know what the ramifications of that are going to be. We want to very much discuss these issues with the air traffic control local management. We haven't been able to get a meeting with them yet, but there are certainly going to be operational impacts. There's going to be significant safety issues for the airport and for the air carriers, our cargo carriers, and the public that want to fly in and out of Will Rogers World Airport. We have flights that arrive late in the evening, as late as after midnight, and we have many that take off before 6 a.m. So again, we don't know what that impact is going to be. I hope that they do not occur. The second major impact is the control tower, the federal contract control towers that are across the country. It's been a very successful program for the FAA, and the Secretary also announced that 189 federal contract towers would be closing completely. Wiley Post Tower, operated by Robinson Aviation since about 1996, has been very successful at Wiley Post. There's a huge variety of aircraft, different performance characteristics, different speeds that operate at Wiley Post, everything from the Cessna 172 to Citation jets and Falcon fan jets, so very, very vast array of different types of aircraft. To not have a control tower at Wiley Post also is a significant safety issue, and by March 4th, I'm supposed to get a letter stating that Wiley Post control tower will be closing April 1st. There are 189, again, contract towers that are affected by this across the country. Since the contract tower operation started 30 years ago, there's only been 3 towers closed, and now 189 are going to be closed in one day. It's really interesting times we're in. I hope to bring you more on this at the March Trust meeting before these cuts take place, and we certainly hope that they do not occur. That's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Moving along, Will Rogers World Airport.
Like approval for item A is to approve addendas 1 and 2 for the Flight Standards Building Roof Replacement and Building Envelope Repairs Project accept staff recommendation on the bids opened on January 15th and adopt the resolution to award after 30 days to Downey Contracting in the amount of $889,400, approving the contract and bonds. Item B is approved change order number 2 for the Senior Lean Mechanical System Replacement Fiscal 11 projects at Mike Monroney Aeronautical Center, adding $40,415.45 in 13 calendar days to the contract. Item C is approved change order number 1 for the installation and maintenance of our closed circuit television system with Dana and Associates Electric Company, adding 90 calendar days. Item D is to approve change order number 1 to the FAA project. We're wrapping up to pave and construct perimeter road around the east parallel runway 17 left and 35 right with Dewitt Construction Company, adding 79 calendar days and accepting the completed road prior to the project completion. Item E is to approve change order number 1, adding 44 days, and also approving amendment 1, adding $17,072.62 to the construction contract with Meridian Contracting. This is another FAA project to help fund the rehabilitation of concrete joints on our west parallel runway, approving the substantial completion and accepting the project. Item F is to approve amendment number 9 to the contract for professional services, adding $44,900 for the Strategic Land Development Program for Will Rogers World Airport. Item G is adopting the resolution declaring a certain structure and associated equipment surplus to the needs of the trust and authorizing staff to pursue disposal. Item H is to approve the request for bids for the operation and maintenance of automated teller machines at Will Rogers World Airport, authorizing advertisement for bids to be open on April the 9th. Item I is adopting the resolution authorizing the selection of Citigroup Global Markets Incorporated as the senior book running manager and designated BOSC Incorporated and Wells Nelson and Associates as co-managers. This will be for underwriting services to support the bond financing for the consolidated rental car facility. Item J is to approve the supplemental management services agreement, number 8 supplement with Ampco System Parking. This is approving their annual budget for next year commencing April 1, 2013. And last item K is approving the solicitation for statement of qualifications for the on-airport rental car operators and authorize advertisement for the statement of qualifications to be received on March 15th. That's all the items under Will Rogers.
Thank you, Mark. You've heard the items under Will Rogers. What are the trustees' desires? Motion is second. Any discussion? Seeing none, cast your votes. And it is so ordered. Wally Post and Clarence E. Page.
The only item for general aviation is item A to adopt the resolution and the approval of the sole source service agreement with RSINet to maintain and provide the satellite uplink with our automated weather reporting system at Clarence E. Page Airport to the FAA system for data interchange so that users around the country can get weather reporting on Page Airport.
Move approval.
We have a motion to approve. We have a second. Any discussion? Please cast your votes. And it is approved. Items under general.
Item A is to receive the standard delinquent accounts receivable report, which I want to point out is only about $5,000, the construction project status report, and the budget to actual report as of January 31st. Item B is to approve supplement number 2 to the construction contract with Dana and Associates Electric Company for the 2013 annual electrical and street lighting maintenance and repairs contract in an amount not to exceed $325,000 or 365 days. This is a renewal of their contract. Item C is approving the plans and project manual by Frankfurt Short Bruza for the 2013 annual painting, repairs, and maintenance contract, advertising bids to be open on March 26th. Item D is approved supplement number 3 to the professional services contract with G4S Secure Solutions. This is our supplemental security contract, extending the term for 1 year commencing March the 1st.
You've heard the items listed under paragraph 6. Your motion and a second. Any discussion? Please cast your votes. Lease agreements.
Thank you. Lease agreements, item A is to approve the assignment and assumption agreement, assigning the lease agreement between the Airport Trust and Primarily Poor LLC. This is for the lease of a hangar site for the storage of privately owned aircraft from Primarily Poor LLC to Sherry Upton and Dan Wooliver. This is effective March 12th at Clarence E. Page Airport. Item B is approving the lease agreement with EAN Holdings LLC for their use of a facility to maintain, service, and store rental car vehicles commencing April the 1st. And last, item C is approving the other transaction agreement, amendment number 6, with the Transportation Security Administration, extending the expiration term of that agreement until September 30, 2013 at Will Rogers.
Mr. Chairman, I just comment on A there, the assignor is Primarily Poor, and I understand, having owned 8 aircraft, how he got that way. So I move approval.
You're a sympathetic man.
Yes, I feel his pain.
With that aside, please cast your votes. That is so approved. Paragraph 8.
Request the requisitions be adopted.
Motion second. Any discussion? Please cast your votes. And it is so done. Comments from trustees? Comments from staff? Any citizens wishing to be heard? Seeing none, we are adjourned.